Welcome to my channel and to another trail camera review. Today it's a 4G cellular pan and tilt camera. That means this camera can detect motion and send you a near instant notification. This camera takes video and you're able to open up the app and view those videos in near real time. It also has a live view. If this camera does not detect motion, but you just want to log in and see what the camera's seeing, you can do that at any time from anywhere. You also have the option to pan and tilt this camera remotely. You could be thousands of miles away from this camera, open up the app, and spin the camera nearly 360 degrees. I'll do a quick unboxing and show you what you get inside the package. I'm going to activate this camera, but then most importantly, I'll put it to work. I'm going to mount this in several locations on my farm so we get a variety of different situations to see how this camera reacts, whether it's a wooded area or a wide open space. I'll show you some of the features that this camera has on the app and how it functions, but then in the end I'll bring you back and give you my final thoughts, the pros and cons as I see it after actually using this trail camera. Let's get into the unboxing. It is a 4G solar camera. This is the brand name ZTGOJ. Now that doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but that doesn't scare me. As long as the camera operates, I don't care what they call it. Inside the package we have a couple sticker templates. There's a user manual, supplied data SIM card that works on all three of the major networks. Comes with a solar panel and a pretty long cord that's going to allow you to mount this solar panel to get the best sun angle. Here's the camera. We'll take a closer look at that in just a second. We also get a tree strap, some mounting hardware, and a USB cable, and a mount for the solar panel. Let's take a closer look at the camera itself. It does have dual antennas. As you can see, it does pan and tilt, and of course you can do that remotely through the app. It has both IR, night illumination, and white LEDs, so you can get either color videos at night, or with the IR you'll get the black and white. Of course you have your camera lens and your PIR sensor. Around to the back, it does have 4 mounting holes here. It's going to allow you to screw it directly to a wall or a post or a tree. It does include a mounting bracket if you want to use that tree strap and don't want to use any screws. On the bottom of the camera, there's a rubber cover. Here you have to include your own micro SD card, and the included data SIM card goes there. There's a reset button also. Down on the bottom here, there's a place to plug in the solar panel and also your on-off switch. So next I'm going to fully charge this internal battery to give the solar panel a head start. Then I'll install the included data SIM card and put this camera to work. Setup was a breeze and I was successful in my very first try. For me, the hardest part was figuring out the orientation of the SIM card. Now you have this video to refer to, but they include the SIM card and a tweezers. And when you see how small this SIM card is, you'll know why the tweezers are included. Once I got that SIM card installed, I simply powered the camera on and then waited for a solid blue light. There'll be a series of flashing lights. I have this video sped up. In real life, it's a lot slower, but ultimately you want to wait till you have a solid blue light. At that point, you can download the free app and click Add a 4G camera. Following the instructions on the app in a few short steps, you'll be up and running and have the live view from your camera on your cell phone. When the initial setup was complete, I brought the camera out here to several different locations on my farm. And here's some sample videos that this camera sent me, both daytime and nighttime. Now I'll show you more sample videos as I give you my final thoughts in the end, but first I want to give you a walkthrough of the app. Just a quick overview of what to expect, how you can pan and tilt this camera, and how you can view back previously recorded videos. You can simply pull up the app and click on the camera that you want to open. It brings up a live feed, and as you saw there, it opened in just a few seconds. I have found this camera very quick to connect to the app. I like that feature. If you click in the lower left corner, this brings up the pan and tilt feature. After all, that's one of the biggest selling points in this type of cellular camera. When you bring up the pan and tilt feature, you can simply press and turn the camera left and right in near live time. You can go left and right and up and down. You can also adjust the speed. As you can see, I have it on a higher speed. If you put it on lower speed, it's gonna pan and tilt much slower. When you have it on the lower speed, of course, the pan and tilting is going to be much slower, as you can see here in the example. Next, I want to show you some of the settings that this camera offers. If you click the gear icon in the upper corner, it brings up a list of customizations that you can change on this camera. One of the things that I'll touch on is the activity detection. This is actually your PIR sensitivity. You have 3 different settings: low, medium, and high. And as you can see, I'm running it on the lowest setting, and I've had good results on low setting. Another setting that this camera offers is detection schedule. If you only want your camera to be active certain times of the day or even certain days of the week, you can go into this setting and change when this camera is active. I have mine active 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The last setting that I'll touch on is the recording time. Here it gives you different options on how long the videos are going to be. I have it set on 30-second videos. Now, if an animal stays directly in front of the camera for longer than that, it'll continue to take more videos, but each video will be capped at 30 seconds. It'll stop that video and start recording another. I like longer record times on my videos, so I have the 30-second option selected. The last thing that I'll touch on is the playback. And if you click the lower right-hand button, it brings up all the previously recorded events, and it breaks it down into each 24-hour cycle. You can also click on the month and go and select different months or different days of the month. It gives you little orange dots here on when there are videos recorded. When you bring that up, it gives you a thumbnail here on the right-hand side. You can simply click on that thumbnail, and it'll play back the recorded video. As you can see here, a doe and her fawn were right by the camera. The fawn's getting a little frisky. All of this playback is done through the cellular connection. And again, you don't have to be close to your camera. You could be 1,000 miles away and still access all the recorded videos that that camera has taken. Another option you have on the home screen is the microphone button. You can press that and you can hear the camera is talking. It is near live time, and I'm going to shut that off because it's rather annoying. As you heard, the camera had a pretty good speaker, and you're able to hold a two-way conversation. You could be 1,000 miles away from your camera. If somebody's in front of your camera, you can talk through the app, and they can hear what you're saying. They can talk, and you can hear what they're saying. It's a great feature that this camera offers. Something I'd promised I'd talk about is that supplied SIM card. It is from EIoT Club, and I am very familiar with that company. In fact, it's one of my favorites. They are reliable, have no hidden fees, and one of the most affordable data suppliers out there. So after the first month of using that camera, nearly 300 videos recorded, I have used a total of 215 MB. I personally used the 2 gig per month plan, and as you can see, I stayed well underneath that. If you get a 2 gig per month for 12-month plan, it's $139. That comes out to $11.66 a month. Now, there are monthly plans available. It'll just be slightly higher. It is now time for my final thoughts. I'm going to continue to show you videos that this camera has taken from several different locations, and ultimately, you can judge for yourself. But I thought the video quality was more than acceptable. In fact, I thought the nighttime videos might be slightly better than even the daytime videos, and most cameras, that's opposite. The nighttime illumination when using the IR mode was very good. If you look at the even distribution from side to side, you can easily see what's happening and see different objects or animals that are in the videos. This camera does give the option of those white LEDs, so if you want color videos at night, you can do that with this camera. That can be especially helpful when using this camera as a security camera. It does have the possibility of spooking game at night with the color videos, but you have that option to turn it on or off with this camera. More positives for this camera is its compact design. It's one of the smallest pan and tilt type cameras that I have. So I like the compact design and the camo pattern. I thought it matched in well in several different environments that I tried it in. Another positive is how quickly this camera can connect to that live view via the app. In fact, this is one of the quickest connections of any other pan and tilt camera that I've ever tested. And even though I don't have great signal here in the farm, a big thumbs up to the quick connectivity to the app. Another positive for me was the battery life. Now, I've taken hundreds of videos with this camera, and the solar panel and the internal battery was able to keep up. In fact, this camera has been showing nearly 100% battery life since I started using it. Now, are there any things that I think could be improved with this camera? Well, the two things that I'm about to mention did not affect the functionality of this camera. In fact, this camera worked flawlessly for me. Technically, I had zero issues. But one thing that did stand out is when you have this camera mounted to the tree, it is very difficult to attach the solar panel and to open up the grommet for the power on and off button. Now, this isn't a huge deal, but you may notice if you have the camera attached to the tree, there's very little space to get to that on-off button or to plug in the solar panel, especially with my fat fingers. The only other thing that I'll mention is its mounting system. It has an included tree strap, and when you use that bracket, you have to attach the camera to that bracket with 4 small thumb screws. Now, this isn't a huge deal, but again, for me, I found it a little cumbersome to try and attach those 4 thumb screws to that mounting bracket. Now, this isn't something you have to do often. In fact, if you attach it to the tree and set it and forget it, you only have to do this once. But I'll put that in the negative column because they are rather small thumb screws and pretty cumbersome to put those 4 thumb screws in initially. So those were my final thoughts, the pros and cons as I see it after actually using this camera. There'll be a link down in the description if you want more information, or maybe you'd like to purchase one of these for yourself. It is an affiliate link, so I get a small commission if you do decide to make a purchase. I want to thank you in advance, and it helps my channel continue to bring reviews just like this. I also would love to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, maybe there's something that I totally overlooked, please feel free to leave me a comment down in the comment section. I'll do my best to get back to you, and I really do enjoy hearing from you. I also want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.